all you beautiful people. I'm sitting high on the van. Got my back brace on. I'm Lisa with Living Life with Lisa, and I just wanted to take this opportunity of being alone to actually talk to you a little bit. So I promised to tell you about some of my hallucinations that I had after coming home, and it was quite a wild ride. To start off with, and I'm gonna readjust this camera a little bit, but when I get the stop sign light. There. I thought that the nurse was in like a glass room next to my bed, and that I was in some kind of like space age room with all these sensors in the roof. And she kept yelling at me through the speaker to breathe through my nose and not my mouth, because it was causing the alarms to go off. And so every time the alarm went off, she came in there, yelled at me through this speaker, and told me that I had to breathe through my nose. And I kept thinking, well, the sensor's in the roof and the ceiling, so what difference does it make where I breathe out of? Because you're going to get the same air coming out through my mouth as it comes through my nose. So anyway, this went on for a while, and she came up to me and said, you don't have to worry about breathing through your nose anymore. It's not your oxygen that's causing the alarms to go off. It is your heart rate. And I thought, good, now I can sleep. She can quit waking me up every time I breathe through my mouth. And so the next thing I knew, they were doing all this stuff to me, and she said that they were going to take me to a different floor. And I said, what floor are you taking me to? And she said, well, just one where they can observe you. And so then some other women came in and were looking at everything and checking everything. And I said something about being moved, and they said, where are you being moved to? And I said, I don't know, someplace where they can observe me. They said, you're not being moved. And so then the nurse came back in and sarcastically said, well, I guess 130 heart rate when you're fast asleep is okay. And I thought that I'd already been started pulling out and that I was in the middle of the hallway, but I wasn't. I was still in my other part. Well, when I kind of got coherent, I don't remember actually waking up. I don't remember getting to my room. I don't know that I woke up in recovery. If I did, I have no memory of it. And then when I did wake up, they told me I had to lay still because they had punctured a lumbar sac, which is, I got a lumbar puncture during the surgery by accident. And so it's too bad they couldn't use that stuff to test everything, and me never having to have another puncture again. But they had put some kind of drain in, and this is true, this isn't made up. They put some kind of drain in, and I had I forget what it's called, the bag, so that you don't have to go to the bathroom. And so anyway, when I kind of woke up, I realized that the room did not have sensors in the ceiling, and that the alarm was right next to me. And I kind of got that part figured out. And she wasn't yelling at me through the speaker. She was actually coming in and laying over the bed. kept asking how long I still seems like she was like in this room, even now. But I kept saying 24 hours, and she said for quite a while, maybe longer. And so finally, I just could not stay awake. And for probably, I was in there from, my surgery was on Tuesday, I got out on Saturday, and probably about Thursday, if not later, they came in and told me that they had been giving me my medicine incorrectly, my Namenda incorrectly, and that was causing me to sleep all the time. And the reason that I was sleeping all the time was their fault, not mine. I wasn't thinking it was anybody's fault. I just was so tired. And they got that straightened out, and that I'd be able to stay awake now. Well, I think what it was is they didn't think I was coming out of the anesthetic, because I could not wake up for days. I'd wake up for just a couple of minutes, and I was back to sleep. And so, anyway, so they, that's about as far out as it got, except I kept thinking, I was on my phone, that the bed rest things were people, and I was like in a hotel, and I was asking them how to do things, because somehow on my phone it came up all not the emojis, but the bit somethings, and I couldn't figure out how to get it back. And I think that I called the AT&T store, but I don't know this, because this is when I was in the hotel rather than in the hospital, and asked them, and they told me I had to make an appointment at the AT&T store, because they didn't know how to do it. And then I talked to a kid, and see, I don't think any of this happened, because I don't know how I would have called the AT&T store, and I don't know how, and when I thought I was in a hotel room, I don't know where this kid would have come from. But anyway, this kid told me to go to my settings and turn off the, I can't remember what it's called, bit something. So anyway, I turned it off, and it solved the problem. So then I get home, and a friend's staying with me, and I'm needing care. I mean, total care, if you know what I mean. And so I woke up in the middle of the night and needed to go to the bathroom. So she got up, and I was sleeping in a chair, and she slept on the couch, and she helped me up, helped me get in the chair, and I saw all these kids in there, and I said, how are you sleeping with all these kids in this house? And there were kids sleeping all over the house. And she said, there aren't any kids here. And I saw cats and dogs, and we went into my bedroom to go to the bathroom, and there was somebody on my bed. This kid had a stocking cap sleeping on my bed, and she said, there's nobody on your bed. So when we got back into the living room, I said, look at that cat. And I pointed over to my desk, and I said, look at that cat. I said, it is black and white striped cat, and it's licking its paws. And she said, no, there's nothing over there. And then I said, well, what about that one? And I pointed over to where my island's at in the kitchen, and I said, there is a brown cat, and it's meowing. I mean, it's moving. And she said, no, that's a paper sack. And so I went over and felt it, and sure enough, it's a paper sack. And then I saw a puppy on her blanket, and it was an adorable little puppy. And I said, you don't see that puppy? And she said, no, there's no puppy there. And then there was a great big purple cake in the middle of the living room, because they were celebrating some holiday I'd never heard of, and they had to have a purple cake in order to celebrate this holiday. And so I was whack out. And so then the next day, she ran to church, and I got a call from the in-home agency that's coming in and doing the PT and the OT and the speech and whatnot with me. and the nurse came out to assess me, and I got a call, and they told me that the nurse was coming out and that I needed certain items, and I remember it was 3 items, and I said, well, good luck with that, because there was no way I was going to find them. I couldn't get out of the chair, and I just thought, I don't care, and I went back to sleep. Next thing I know, my friend and this woman are waking me up and telling me that this is the nurse, and I got the idea in my head that there was another nurse coming, and that this was somehow illegal, or that it was like not allowed, or like I was cheating on one or something. And I was trying to tell her that there was another nurse coming. I didn't know if they both could be there or not, or was she the nurse that was coming? I was really confused, and they were trying to talk me into going into inpatient rehab, and I was flat out refusing. And so they signed me up for speech, and they signed me up for PT and OT, and a nurse coming in and checking on me. And when speech came, I said, I probably should have told you on the phone. I said, but she just came this week. This week. And she's on vacation. And I said that probably should have told you that I have been diagnosed with dementia, but that nurse that recommended you come out was assessing me on the day after I got home from the hospital. And she said, you can't assess somebody the day after they get home from the hospital. They're still full of all the drugs and anesthesia and all that. They're not right anyway. Nobody is. You can't get a fair assessment. And I said, I know. And so she went ahead and tested me, and I'm happy to say, and I do believe it's because of the apple juice, happy to say that I am still borderline MCI dementia, and I was on the MCI side of the spectrum, and that tickled me because, I took that test while on pain medicine, and the only thing I can attribute it to, besides the good Lord, is the apple juice. And so I'm gonna keep on the apple juice, because maybe that's what I was meant to do, because that was 5 years ago that would not have been an option at all. And so it's better. I don't think I'm retaining water anymore, but I feel like I'm about 9 months pregnant with this back brace on. I have to sit funny. It's hard to get up and get down. It's got everything pushed up like in the old days where they wore a corset, and I just feel huge. But at night I've gone back to my bed. I've slept two nights in my bed. Last night went really well, so I think tonight will go extremely well. And try not to hit anything when I come in my driveway. I've got well, on a sad note, my one caregiver was diagnosed with cancer, so she's no longer able to help. And I don't think you ever met her. The other one, Nicole, is a 911 operator, and right now they're working her. She's low man on the totem pole, so she's working 12-hour shifts, and she's trying to get that changed. She's giving them until Tuesday, and then she's going to kind of ruffle some feathers. So she has not been available to come over, and so in tears today, I called the agency, and they called because I couldn't find the number for my caseworker. Caseworker called, and I said I'm just overwhelmed, and so they're going to try to get me with another agency that provides help. I think I'm hoping, I'm praying, and please pray with me, wish with me, send positive thoughts, that Nicole gets her schedule straightened out so that she can come back and help out. I need her in more ways than one. She has such a calming effect on me. But she found somebody today that would come and clean my house. And they were here, and it took them an hour and a half to do almost all of it. And it looks so much better and feels so much better. I feel so much better about it. And if we get that done, that's a good thing. That's half the battle. The people that work through the agencies cannot shop for my boys, cannot cook for my boys, cannot wash the boys' clothes, cannot wash any dishes they eat off of. It is insane. They can only do all mine, and then I'm supposed to do theirs, which is impossible. So I have to hire people outside of the agency to do grocery shopping and to help with that kind of stuff. So I'm not sure if I'm even going to stay with Real Services, only because the rules are ridiculous. You know, if I didn't have growing kids, it wouldn't be it'd be perfect. There's nothing set up for families. There's nothing set up for people with kids, and it's just unrealistic. So their person comes. I get 3 hours of housekeeping and 3 hours of personal care. So I'll use their person for personal care because I need more personal care now than I did before. I'll still use their people, but I'll have my own people coming in doing things so that we don't have to worry about their person breaking any rules. And so that's where I'm at, and I have hired a man that will, I'm already over my 15-minute limit, so I might as well talk some more. Hired a guy to take care of the outside of the house. I did this last year before, and the guy kind of stiffed me. It was last year, and it didn't matter because the things that he left behind are worth more than the money he owes me, and they're things I can use. But this guy's really good. He's really helpful. He's done a good job of just driving by, make sure things are okay. We had the dogs get out one night while I was laid up, and I couldn't go get them. And that just so happened they were coming back when we found out they were gone. And it turned out that our gates in the back, the big gates that open up to let farm machinery in and things like that, the big gate had fallen over. And so the kids went out and propped it up and kind of tied it up so that the dogs couldn't get out anymore. And he drove by and saw that, and he put the gate back together. And never even told me. I didn't know that he had put the gate up. And so I'd ask him when he's coming over, and he said, something wrong? I said, no, I'm just curious. And he said, well, I came over and I put the gate back on the fence. So apparently it was off completely. I don't know how that happened. And, well, I have an idea how that happened. Some boys misbehaving on it. Jumping on it. But the yard's looking good. We're going to have to get the house power washed because it's got yucky mold on it on the north side. So now I can remember, you get lost in the woods, you find the mold on the north side of the tree. I don't think at this point in my life I'm going to get lost in the forest. But who knows? And who knows what I remember. But thank you all for watching. The weird thing, if you're still watching, write the word red in the comments, because I'll tell you something. When I don't post anything, it's the weirdest thing. I get subscribers. When I post a video, when I upload this video, I'll lose somebody, and it doesn't make any sense at all. And then if I don't post for a while, people will come, and then as soon as I post, they undo. Also, not everybody's seeing that my videos are up. So hit the bell so you're notified, and double check, because I'm noticing that when you go to your subscribed people, not everybody you subscribe to is showing up. And I have to go, and I started realizing this the other day, and so I have to go and I look for my person, and then see if they put up any more videos. And I think that's happening to my stuff. That's my theory anyway, because I was going from about 130 views to like 50 something. And so hit that bell. And like I said, if you're still watching, put the word red and then RED, color red, in there. And I will get confused of why people were writing red. And then I'll have to watch the video like I did the yellow. but that's okay. Hope you enjoyed the stories. I didn't get too tickled this time, only because I was driving. And I'm in some serious pain. I'm not supposed to be driving. But, you know, when you have no help and you're the only one with a license and people got to be places. I got somebody to drive boys to band camp the whole week, but sometimes, you know, you got to do what you got to do. And that's what I'm doing. Yes, I have a sweatshirt on in the middle of, at the end of July, but it got cold today. Everybody kept telling me how cold it was. It's cold wind. It's not cold. I mean, it's like 72, but I put on my, I didn't want to have to wear a jacket, so I put on my sweatshirt. And I'm going to go get Jesse, because he and I are the only ones home. The two band kids went to a party that goes on till midnight tonight. If it's anything like last year, it won't really, because they'll call me to come get them early because they'll be too tired. But they should be tired because they had all week of band camp. But Jesse and I will go have a date and go eat someplace, I think. And if he's hungry and I'm hungry, we'll go do that. And just have an evening to ourselves. We don't have, it's just the two of us. And so he was pretty excited about the fact that it was just going to be the two of us. So I'll get back in there and see to him. And you all live life to the fullest, live life with no regrets, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.